convert faster. Basically, that's the bottom line. And I'll show some examples.
Okay.
But I actually kind of want to tie it back to the first slides that you presented regarding the online presence and how people are actually searching online. And I thought that was very important, especially from like actually thinking about that person that you're trying to attract at the first point. Like you're talking about someone waiting for their coffee at Starbucks, right? Like, or someone waiting for the subway. That's actually when they have a couple minutes to just pull up their phone and look through the options, and that's when people find the homes that they want to, go and see in person potentially. So it's very important to kind of like, that's the level ground where you start engaging those people, and it's at that point the photos are very important.
Yeah. Hey, Nina, can I interrupt you for 1 second? What kind of percentage of your traffic is from mobile devices versus desktop? Is it vast majority?
Yes, I would say that mobile is our first priority in everything that we do.
So these small screen experiences are really
if you
important.
make me go to a desktop, it's not going to happen. You have to be able to do it on your phone.
Yeah.
And the on the phone experience is much shorter in duration than sitting down at the desktop, right?
Right, and you're not always around a desktop, but your phone is attached.
I'm around the desktop too much.
Me too,
But it's that's why I kind of want to emphasize the photos, because they're so fast and easy to consume, and you can get so much information from them, and they're easy to kind of skim through. Like you don't have to spend 5 minutes. You can actually just look at them for a minute, and then you have a lot of information if you have the photos in the first place. And that's what people usually want to see. We've seen this in our research and also others' research. Most people find the photos very useful, and that's what they want to see. And when I say photos, I'm talking specifically about the property photos. So not just a model, but actually the one that people might potentially buy or interested in seeing. And I did a little bit of research just kind of to see, the websites of people in the room and what's there. And I've seen the photos I've seen were mostly for models, and I think there's like a huge potential of actually completing that, the assets and adding them there, because once you have the photos, the new machine learning technologies can do so much more with them. So you have the photos, you have the floor plans, and all of a sudden you're able to show so much more with just those. Are
you going to show us on the
I
you
will,
can show?
yes. I know, it's like a build-up. Just kind of to show.
Enough with the suspense.
Yes, the grand reveal. So here you're seeing an example of the floor plan and the photos are virtually staged. And you're seeing the staging is also customized, right? So you can see how that space would look for a family versus for someone who works from home. You can do pets, you can do all kinds of different versions, which actually what happens when you do this is you're basically shifting the conversation. Like you're at the first engagement point, you're having the person ask, the question isn't, do I want to buy this house? Yes or no? The question is like, how would this space actually work for me? Would my kids' room actually fit into this space? It kind of looks like what I'm seeing in this photo, right?
Yeah.
So this is the very first contact that you have with the prospect, and you're already having them think about what that space might look like.
And that swipe happens automatically, or is that controlled?
That is, that the user can, the user is able to kind of play with it, and you'll see a customer example here, where instead of just the floor plan, they can play with the sliders and see the space unfurnished and furnished, and then also click on the floor plan to just kind of walk around. So they have a sense of the space, and then they have a sense of.
And isn't part of your secret sauce, and I don't know whether I'm preempting your later presentation of it, but it's the machine learning, the AI, whatever we want to call it, makes it easy for you to generate lots of different options from a furnishing perspective.
Absolutely, right? The quality, the options, the customization, all of that is available using a lot of the new machine learning models. And the technology is very recent and it's a very exciting time in the AI like visual space.
And what feeds the AI? Is the AI fed by profile information that the builder develops? Is the AI derived based on user's journey or what?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things you can do depending on what you're trying to achieve there. So right now, when we have a user who comes to us, we do have a massive database and a lot of different assets that we are able to use to generate a lot of different versions of the photos, which then you can use and understand what your prospects are interested in, which versions they might want to actually see on
So
their
you
site.
can A/B test this stuff.
Exactly.
And you can deploy
Exactly.
different looks and feels for different types of customers.
Yes. And that is what
So is this all capability, or are you doing this for some users?
So this is an example from, as I said, from a customer's website. We are working with a lot of users right now, and this is the capability that I showed you so far is what we have available. What I'm going to show you on the next and final slide is where this technology is going. So the options that you saw in those slides were, pre-selected basically. And where we're going is actually what you see here as the user is instantly able to generate those different options depending on what they might want to see. So this is instant staging, instant virtual staging we're talking about. And this is something we're developing right now. And what this means is you're basically having an AI designer for every prospect. Like that's at the very top of the funnel. Like people are looking at the photos of your space, and then they're able to start thinking about what can I do with this space? How would it work for me? So it's very exciting. And as I
So
said,
how do you all study this stuff? How do you know that it works? These are MIT educated folks
Yes.
who come up with this stuff. So like you studied it, right?
Yeah. So I'm one of the 3 co-founders, and my partner, my co-founder, who's our CTO, was working in autonomous driving prior to starting this company with us. And what made us realize is, there's so much potential in the real estate space that is not really being used by just kind of leveraging all the existing technologies. So that's kind of how we started experimenting using these different models. And as I said, like this space is just very, very like ripe for like change and innovation. So all of this is kind of like in a month I'll be showing other things,
It's kind of like we got a little bit of a furnishing and decor theme that's kind of emerged here, but that's really about living, right? It's people imagining living instead of looking at a space, right? And that is what's driving engagement. I'm asking you.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yes.
I mean, that's what drives the engagement. That's what gets them to spend the time on our site. And as tough as it is right now with the interest rates and all that messaging out there about don't buy a home right now, once a customer gets emotionally attached and see themselves living in the home, they'll strive for the financial and they'll look at those programs. So that's key. And in a resale home or a used home where you can see that, you can see the furniture, you can picture yourself. If you just look at an empty room, it's not going to add that same
Well, it's kind of sales 101 to make people want it, to have the emotional drive on it before they get to all the rational stuff about financing, etc. That's cool. That was a great presentation. You want to pass
Absolutely.
the clicker to Robert?